up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Blue Heaven TV. As always, I'm the studio host, Andrew. Today, we got Brandon in studio.
Yep.
We've got Javen behind the desk as producer. And, of course, we have the lovely Marin Angus Combs hanging out with us again today. How are you today, Marin?
I'm great. I'm warm, and it's cold outside.
That's awesome. Not that the cold outside, but that you're warm.
It's fine.
It's all good. Well, just imagine, we're going to be talking all Dodgers stuff. You can imagine you're in LA, just feeling good.
It's raining in LA right now, high key.
Oh, yeah, well.
Yeah, but it's
Still
not
probably better
Nebraska,
than snow.
Omaha rain or snow.
Mm-hmm. Yo,
I
does
think-
Omaha, is Omaha known for steaks? Is that like a thing, or
Yeah,
am I just
Omaha
tripping?
Steaks, it's a thing. Yeah,
Oh,
But
okay.
is the company actually from Omaha?
yeah, they are based here. Yeah,
Nice.
So what makes Omaha steaks like the Dodgers, essentially? What? Explain this, please.
money.
I don't know if it's ever been a correlation between Omaha Steaks and the Dodgers.
It's the rich, fertile soil of Nebraska.
Money.
I feel like their farm system is so good, so therefore they're producing grass-fed steak.
Right? Maybe. I mean,
Yeah.
the reality of it is it could be.
Potato.
Hey, listen, it's all about marketing and branding.
Absolutely.
Put it out there, everybody will think about it. Or it could just be Schwann's. You know,
No, Schwann's went out of business. So
I was
Oh.
gonna say I don't see those trucks
Yeah.
anymore.
Nah, it's a
yeah,
no for me,
Schwann's is
dog.
dead.
that's the only thing I equate Omaha steaks to is Schwann's for some reason. I don't know why.
Delivery, food delivery. In a big
The OG
refrigerated truck.
DoorDash.
Facts. Yo, that is true. Remember those dudes used to come around selling meat on the back of trucks? I mean, that sounds weird, but yeah, you know what I mean? Wait,
growing
did
up
he?
in the
Yeah,
in the
pause.
middle of the desert, we would see one like every so often in Newberry.
Right. Midwestern meats. That's what it was. This is no promo. Y'all need to pay us. But I'm just saying, there used to be a dude that came by that was like, yo, I got steaks. And I was like, why? But
Now we just buy shrimp out of the back of a truck in Arizona.
absolutely.
It can't be that
Ah.
good.
Yeah.
We diverted a bit, but
Yeah.
It's all good. We're having fun. So, obviously we're getting close to the start of the season, right? Everybody's super excited for the Tokyo series. So I wanted to kind of get everybody's take on the Tokyo series and from kind of different perspectives, right? First and foremost, can we acknowledge the uniforms and the collabs that are being done for the Tokyo series?
Again,
Right?
cannot acknowledge those prices. But
it don't even matter what the prices are.
to some of us, it does.
Well, no, I'm saying the resale value, these are investments. Good and well from now, 20 years from now, I'm going to be like, I got the 2025 Tokyo Dodgers jersey. I'm going to let it go on eBay for 50 billion yen or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Billion yen. It'd be
Now-
like if you bought any All-Star gear from 2020 that didn't happen.
Right.
I mean,
Isn't that what your All-Star hat is?
this is 2022.
Oh, 2022.
I literally grabbed like 18 of these and I called Andrew. I was like, I got a bag for you, fam. So I still have a bunch too, Marin. I got you for 2022 All-Star Game gear. I got you.
Really?
Yeah, I got a bunch of it.
Okay. I mean,
Yeah. So the merch is top tier.
That's
100%.
And so I just saw an announcement. Someone's doing slides. Like there's slides now that are getting worked into
Stop it.
the merch.
Run me.
The hats are sick. The hats are about the only thing that are probably going to be on my radar.
Right.
But they are
For sure.
legit. Both sides. The
maybe
Cubs
they'll
stuff
make you
and
a
the Dodgers.
Mickey Mouse long sleeve shirt to go with Goofy.
Hey, I'll take it. If
Well,
I
and
can
that's
work
the
this
crazy thing
into
is-
becoming like an Arizona-based Disneyland vlog,
Right.
or vlog, that'd be sick.
Well, what's crazy is when you think about it, right? The City Connect jerseys for the Cubs this year, absolute fire. The collab with the Dodgers and the Cubs are doing, absolute fire.
Yeah.
Like they picked two brands that are synonymous with awesome, designs, elements, and just crushed it.
Absolutely.
Like everybody else's City Connect jerseys
Trash.
trash and tragic at the same time.
I mean,
Like,
their
their
cities
cities
aren't
aren't
connecting. You know what I mean? Those are disconnected city jerseys. That's what they should call them. For real.
So, did anybody get to watch the demon anime that they did?
Yeah. So
with
I
Shohei?
I
Oh,
love
yeah.
Demon Slayer.
Yeah.
And so the little like they called it like a mini movie, pretty much. It's like 2.5 minutes.
Yeah.
And it is the artists, voice actors, and all that from Demon Slayer, and it is legit. And it's sick. If you like anime, it is so awesome. And if you're familiar with Demon Slayer, it's the only way they could have done it was using the studio that does
Sure.
Demon Slayer. It's sick.
Okay.
And this just goes to speak to the marketability and the reach of the Dodgers.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right? This is the first time that Major League Baseball has been in Japan since, what was it, 1913? I believe it was. Somebody will fact check me and tell me I'm wrong, but it was a long time ago.
Right.
Right.
Before any of us were born. Right.
And the reality of it is that's what blew up baseball in Japan.
Yep.
And it just kept going. Obviously, the time zone difference is going to be crazy. But what do you guys think the numbers are going to be? I'm going to say it's going to be off the charts, both in the U.S. and overseas.
Viewership is going to be at an all-time high. I mean, we basically imported the top, players from that side of the world. Why wouldn't we? This is, to me, would be no difference if this was Michael, Magic in their prime, and this is the 92 Dream Team, essentially. How the Dream Team just created hysteria over in Europe. This is, I feel, how the Dodgers will be over in Tokyo. And rightfully so, right? Like, what other team should be over there? It'd be super boring if, like, I don't know, the Diamondbacks were over there or something. Like,
So viewership, to try to come up with some type of guess. Viewership in the U.S. of the World Series. Obviously, it's the World Series. It's not the same thing, but it was 15.8 million in the U.S., another 12.1 in Japan. So you got to figure that Japan number is probably going to be pretty dang close to that.
Yeah.
And then because it's the Dodgers, it's going to get significant or would get significant viewership. But we also
and the
understand.
Cubs too. What's the respect on the Cubs too? The Cubs are a storied franchise, the lovable losers, right? So I think you're going to have millions and millions of baseball fans that are going to be reinvigorated by these two storied franchises. My number is 35 million combined.
You have to factor in who's starting for both teams in that first game, because you got two Japanese pitchers going head to head.
Yep. And who's starting? What did we say the other day?
Yamamoto's set for game one, right, Marin?
Correct. Yeah. Yama's game one. And they haven't necessarily confirmed Sasaki for game two, but all signs are pointing in that direction. So I think that was the plan from the start, was to have him throw game two.
Yeah. And I mean, honestly, the way Roki's looking, man, it's game over. Like, rookie of the year.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I'm going to throw it out. It was so funny to see a bunch of, like, no shade, obviously, we're on YouTube, right?
No,
but
throw
YouTubers
shade.
and blogs
Throw shade. Shade is okay.
that were wanting to kind of talk about Roki getting taken deep and start saying he's hyped. There was even somebody out of San Diego, the Padres dodged a bullet. The reality of it is,
First off,
this is just trying to make yourself feel good for breaking up with Miss America.
can we talk about San Diego for like 30 seconds? San Diego is a
Please,
place where,
let's.
literally, like, San Diego is a beautiful city. However, they've proven that they can't keep a sports franchise or a fan base happy, right? The Chargers left and came back or did whatever the Chargers do. The Padres have been whatever the Padres have been doing for whatever. And then finally, they get some new money. Silence, right? Exactly. That's my point, right? Like, you're the guy that literally Nike's not worried about Reebok.
Right.
So I think whatever the Padres have to say, that's cute.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well, yeah, and they keep running their mouth. I'm not going to say every single one of them, but a lot of them.
We know who you are. We keep receipts.
No, we call them out. Manuel
Yeah.
Machado, right? Ferdinand Tatis Jr., who can't stay on the field prescription-wise, I guess, if you want to say. Like, come on. You know what I mean? And you have Juan Soto at some particular point, and you let him go. You pay my man Eric Hosmer a gang of money, right? Shout out to E-Money. What? Like, you're just the angels of our division. You spend money and you waste talent at the highest of levels. I think that's 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
I
fine.
think that
No, my bad.
And I think that wraps up their entire offseason in a nutshell. I mean, honestly, let's be real.
Besides the whole lawsuit and the in-laws fighting with each other, and then the players are like, I don't want to play here.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing. And it just, we've touched on it so many times. We all know it. We all feel it. We all see it. But this is the reason why players have waited. That's why they wanted to negotiate to come to LA, because they're willing to be that, lunch pail guy that just shows up. They're going to get their number called. I mean, we got a log jam. Eddie Rosario, who looked good the other day in spring training. CT3, Kike, all these guys, they're willing to fill their role when it's needed to be a part of a winning organization.
Yeah.
And it just shows. That's why we're in Tokyo. That's why we're hyped about it. I know we're going to do some live streaming of the game. I'm going to make everybody drink a bunch of Red Bull. So Marin, if you are up at whatever that time is going to be, you always got an open invite here.
But I don't even know what time, to be honest.
15 hours, I believe. So right now it is 8 a.m. in Japan.
Right.
Right now it is?
Right now it is.
So then...
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
I don't do math. I don't math very well.
It's 15 hours for us.
Yeah. So 16 hours for Marin.
So 16 for me.
Yeah. It's all good. It'll be 3 a.m. It'll be fresh.
Side note, Red
13
Bull
hours.
Or any of those energy drink, all natural companies, holler at us for sponsorship. We'll be up watching Dodgers Matterly. Right.
I like Celsius or Bang.
Whoever's paying, high key.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Please ship all cases to Omaha with some Omaha steaks.
Yes.
All right. So I wanted to have a little bit of fun.
My dog, you said it, Omaha steaks, and my dog barks. That.
The
branding is built in. So I want to get some reactions to everybody, because I'm going to throw out some information and some players, and I want to see if you guys can rank them in the appropriate order. Okay. So these are going to be for
Is there a
Dodgers.
prize? Is there a prize for this?
Bragging rights.
I'm with that.
I got to kick my dog out.
I'm with that. He's a Padres fan. Clearly, he heard us hating.
All right. So we're going to play a little game about Dodgers players and some records.
Oh.
So I'm going to give you guys some names. I want to see if you can get them in the right order. Okay. So, career home run leaders for the Dodgers. Okay. I'm going to throw out names, and we'll see if you guys can pick which one is number one. So the first name we're going to go with is Max Muncy, Andre Ethier, Sean Green, and Eric Karros.
We have to put these.
You got to put these 4 in order. So we'll start.
Order.
Yep. So we'll start. Brandon, who do you think out of those 4 is the leader of home runs?
So it goes Green, Karros, who were the other 2? Max and
Piazza.
Dre.
You didn't say Piazza.
Oh, no,
I'm sorry. I
you
said
said Dre.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it goes Sean, Karros, Dre, Max.
None of those are in the right order.
None of those are in the right order?
None
That's
of
my
those.
order, and
Yeah.
I'm sticking to it.
All right, Marin, who do you got?
God. Okay. So we have Max, Dre, Sean, and Karros.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Okay. So
Cat.
Dang. Okay. Let's go with why
I think I got
this
it.
is hard.
You already lost though. So
I already
Nah.
lost because I was gonna go.
I'm winning
I was
every day.
actually gonna go Max number 1.
Okay.
Is that right?
That is wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, no. Dre's number 1.
That is incorrect as well.
What?
Karos is number 1.
we still have 2 people. We'll have to go.
I
So you're giving away the order. Here.
all right. So Marin.
So I should have went
There you
last.
All right. So
What?
by default, yes, Eric Karros is number 1 with 270 home runs as a Dodger. And side note, number 3 all-time Dodger home run leader.
Interesting.
So now, what order is the other 3?
Go ahead, Javen.
And I thought Marin was still gone. She's yet to
No,
give an answer.
Listen, you might as well go ahead, Javen, because I gave away the number 1 answer.
Okay, so we got Karos number
Karros
1.
is number 1.
I'm gonna say Max.
Okay.
Sean Green, Ethier.
So you had it right. Karros number 1, Max number 2, Dre
Trey 3.
at 163, and Sean Green at 162.
Basically,
Yeah,
I said
Sean-
that just the other way around.
I'm gonna-
you know what I mean?
Andrew was like, I'm gonna find everybody who's like 5 home runs from each other.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
so-
Sean wasn't a Dodger for very long. That's
No.
what we have to remember is
Mhm.
that he was only there for a few years.
Yeah.
He just had that one really big year.
Mhm.
I was actually shocked at the Eric Karros 270, almost 300 home
So was
runs
I.
with the Dodgers.
Yeah.
That's all. And like I said, he's third behind Duke Snyder and Gil Hodges.
Where's Brett Butler on that list?
Butler.
Man.
And- Oddly enough, Raul Mondesi cracking the top 15.
Wow. Did you know
Those were
Brett
like
Butler
when we were
signs,
going and
signs
we were
autographs
kids.
with a smiley face?
Yeah. Yep.
When we were going in kids, I remember like didn't we meet Brett Butler and Eric Karros?
Yeah. Yep. We have all those pictures.
Yeah.
All right. Now, this one is going to be, and we'll start in a different order. We'll go ladies first on this one. This is career strikeouts.
Oh God.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got a laptop over there. Watch his fingers.
I'm just typing names. It's in a
So-
document.
I'm going to give you some numbers, and we got to rank them. Okay. Or I'll give
Okay.
you the players. We got to
Names.
rank them.
Okay.
Matt Kemp, Max Muncy, making the list again.
God.
JT, and Jock.
Okay, what was the question again? Start over.
Career strikeouts as a Dodger.
Who leads? It got to be Young Jock. Oh, my bad. Ladies first. My bad. Hey, but Jock gave a T-shirt to my daughters. They forever his friends.
Jock's a good dude, especially with Champ and everything he does for them.
For sure.
All right, man, who you got? Go ahead and give
Well,
us your ranking.
Jock,
Okay.
Kemp,
Okay.
He's right
who
so
are the
far?
other, Muncy and JT? In that order?
Okay. So you had 3 correct. So Max Muncy leads is third in that category. So 1, 2, and 4 are still
Ooh.
open.
Oh.
So Brandon, I'll let you go this time. 1,
Wait.
2, and 4 are open.
But Max is
Number 3.
Your man,
Out of this
Young
group.
Jock, is not number 1.
I mean, he struck out a lot though. Like a lot.
So did Matt.
Yeah. But I can't hate on Matt because we went to Vegas one time. Man. Anyway,
He doesn't strike out.
yeah, he didn't strike out in Vegas either. Me, Junior Spivey, Jay Hair, the homies. I might actually have to go Matt number 1. Jock 2. Max 3. and then
JT 4.
JT.
So remember, I had it mixed up. Sorry.
He tricked us. Nah, he tricked us, man.
Right.
He tricked us, and then was like, ladies first.
Max is second. JT is third. So you did get Matt Kemp right. Matt Kemp is the all-time strikeout leader, all-time for all Dodgers. And then fourth, that would leave Jock. So what's crazy, though, is the at-bat number.
What did you screw up here? Wait.
So it goes Matt Kemp as number one. This is the first time running this game. Matt Kemp, number one. Then Max,
which he said was 3,
which I
but
said,
but it was really 2.
Yeah.
JT is third,
And Jock 4.
and Jock is fourth.
What? Who would have known?
Yep.
But I think if you looked at bats in career years, Matt had
The most,
13,
right?
12.
Yeah, Matt had 1,200 strikeouts.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah. But he also longest career.
And he also should have won that 2012 MVP that was stolen from him
From Mr. Ryan Braun.
by that guy.
It was rough. All right, last one. We have a little bit of. I'm going to make sure I keep it in order this time.
Yeah, because
Come on,
if you
yeah, Pat
screw
Sajak.
this one up, you'll strike out.
What's happening?
I'm whack Sajak,
Wow.
apparently.
Oh.
All right. So this one's going to be pretty easy. But I'm going to throw in a little bit of an ode to the Tokyo series. So there's
He's remixing his questions,
Right.
bro? Like, it's like spiking. Like,
exactly. All right. Career strikeout leaders for the Dodgers. We're going to rank them. Okay. We have Chan-Ho Park. We have Fernando, Oral, and Kirsch.
in order?
Who's got the all-time strikeout?
No Hideo Nomo on that list? That's rude.
I know. He was all about an ode to Tokyo and no Hideo Nomo.
yeah.
Left off Hideo Nomo.
Where you threw Chan-Ho
I threw
Park?
Chan-Ho
You threw
Park in there.
You threw Chan-Ho Park in that thing.
Or did I do a racism? Is Chan-Ho Park actually Korean?
Listen, we just said, that side of the country, just to make sure we're.
Okay, so
He
it's
is
Chan-Ho
Korean.
Park, Kirsch, Fernando, and Oral.
Yep.
Well, Kirsch is number one.
We all know that.
Easy
That's,
enough.
Like, easy enough. Okay.
By a
Glad
lot.
we established that. Glad we established that. Okay.
I'll say, so I'll go first because I haven't yet. So Kirsch, Oral, Chan-Ho, and Fernando. Nope. Dang.
Orioles number 2.
No.
Fernando's number 2.
Orioles 3, and then. Well.
And when you think about like Fernando Mania, I mean, so Fernando had 1,759 strikeouts. And that window of Fernando Mania was super small, right? The sheer numbers that he put up, like, it was just crazy.
Well, that's what I was trying to think about is like time with the team and all that. So, okay.
Makes sense.
Now, do we think Kirsch can get over 3,000 strikeouts by the end of his career?
So what's he at right now?
He's 29.68. I think so.
So 29.68, so it
32.
means 32 strike. Yeah. I am confident in that.
What I thought was really interesting in looking this up was Kenley Jansen made the list.
Oh, yeah.
Top 20 in all of Dodgers history as a closer.
Came up as a catcher.
That's
So-
wild.
So speaking of pitching, but bringing it back to like current, Marin, do you have any insight into like final rotation spots available? Anything like that with what's going on now that we're coming to the end of spring training?
the latest is that Dustin May is leading the pack for that number 5 spot, which is what we talked about last time, right? We all wanted to see him there. And then, the bullpen's having some interesting things happen, like, random foot injuries that happen off the field that nobody wants to say what happened.
Yeah.
But it's looking, I did read a piece last night about Ben Kasparius, looking like he's going to be in the bullpen to start the year. So that's the latest. I don't think there's going to be anything crazy regarding pitching that we don't already think is going to happen.
Right. Yeah, and I think, I think Dave is going to roll out the best, 4 guys, especially while waiting for Shohei.
Yeah.
And it is that abundance of riches thing, all over again, right? And I think we're going to see a lot of call ups, and players kind of getting shuffled around a little bit, kind of locking into their role. It's kind of one of those things where I think a lot about, like, even what's happening with, like, the Lakers, right? Everybody was concerned about how are Luka and LeBron going to play together. What are they going to do for defense? All of these things, right? But you watch the game plan, you watch the schemes coming together, and everything, all those pieces. JJ's moving those pieces around. I think Dave is going to be in that kind of same position where it's going to be matchup by matchup. It's going to be looking at and projecting kind of what's happening outside of, you're the big 3, right?
Yeah. Dave's been doing this for years. I think when you have such a talented team, he just hasn't been successful every time. And these are the types of roles where if you're successful, you're lauded, and if you lose, you're the martyr, right? But the Dodgers, I think, of the last 5 or 6 years, have always had stacked teams, even back to those Don Mattingly teams. Those teams are ridiculous.
Right.
But I think we're really seeing true coaching, good general managing to manage all of these different moving parts. So I'm just like, let's get after our All-Star break.
Right.
Whatever happens between now and July, fine. Let's, from July on into our playoff run, right? Like, those are the things that are key to me. Like, let Kirsch be ready and everybody else be ready to roll.
Yeah. And that kind of goes into, I wanted to bring up an article that recently came out, kind of get everybody's feelings on it, right? So there was an article that came out that talked about how sneakily the Dodgers are getting older and that they're going to see a regression, right? My reaction to that was
written by a Padres fan. Like, what? Who says that? Who's getting older? Like, yes, every day we're all getting older as human beings. That's dumb.
Yeah. And to me, it was really one of those cases of, like, we have to find a reason to try to say something.
Yeah, of course.
But, when I looked at that article that came out, the Dodgers' average age position-wise is 30, right?
29 and a half.
29 and a half. It's not like we're running out, Manny Ramirez right now, right? To me, again, it's this reach. It's this trying to get something to generate momentum that is a negative about the Dodgers. Yeah, kind of what was your take when you kind of read that article, Javen?
So, newsflash, everybody got a year older, if you guys didn't know, since the start of last season. But that article, to me, it was very much we have to find something to say, right? It was, the point of the article was, they're going to see a significant drop-off. 10% is basically what the guy predicted.
Who makes that number up?
Right. It was, I think in the article, it cited like 91 wins is probably what they would be at. I went through basically Dave Matthews, Dave Roberts.
Hey, DMB.
Dave Roberts' tenure. I started it 8 years ago. And in those 8 seasons, they've only had 1 year where their win-loss percentage was below 60%, which is what it would need to be this upcoming season for them to be a 91 wins. So the odds of that happening are not great, let alone everyone's pretty much healthy. All of the talent added across the entire field, the depth of the positions that they were added to, the odds of them losing 7 more games this year than last, or, losing 7 more games is not great. And so I'm not a journalist. I don't write things. I'm not commissioned to write pieces. So I don't know what goes into it or what kind of quotas we would have to meet. But an article like that just seems like a bit of a reach and seems like I just need to get something out. And this kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
But also like the being old part, they're 29 and a half. Between the 30th team, which is them technically, tied with other teams, and 4th youngest is 2.5 years. Nothing.
Yeah.
So I wasn't the biggest fan of it, but that's just me.
What if I told you that the Dodgers just halted Shohei Ohtani's throwing program?
Oh, really?
And
Yeah.
I'd also say like, okay.
Is that like a hypothetical what if? Like, or
No,
is that
just it's happening right now.
Oh, interesting.
So Jack Harris of the Los Angeles Times just tweeted that Ohtani is still playing catch, but it has been more than a week since his last bullpen. The reason, according to Dave Roberts, Ohtani and the team wanted to slow play his pitching program as he began to ramp up as a hitter and take live game at bats.
This is smart.
Okay.
Like
it makes sense.
I think of articles like that. Comparing young and old. What young teams are winning championships in any sport across the right?
The youngest team
also,
was like
too-
the Rays.
Right. That's an anomaly. That's not happening again. We're 5 months away from what we all experience, against the Yankees. But also, if you're the media or if you're an opposing team's beat writer, why poke the bear?
Yeah.
Like when athletes tell you like, "Oh, we blocked the noise out," man, please. They're in the locker room talking about this. Oh, we're gonna get 91 wins. Why would you do that?
Right.
Right. And I think these articles are clickbait stuff. They're media requirements. We get all that. But from an actual baseball perspective, I think these guys love that. Right. They see these articles, especially the younger guys that pay attention more to social media. This is going to add fuel to the fire. So Giants fans, Padre fans, whoever, that keep saying these things. Right. And then we'll see y'all at the parade in November.
And I think kind of Marin going back to, the Shohei thing. If they halt him, it's okay to slow play his pitching progress.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Because, the reality of it is he's going to hit 50 home runs. Right.
Is he going to hit 50 while he's pitching?
He'll maybe go for 35, but I slow play him, right? What's the reason in rushing if you've got Tupac, Snoop Dogg, and Dr. Dre in your record label, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got these other hitters that are come behind you. So let all these other guys get in their groove and take care of this $700 million investment you've made, because it's not like we're trying to do everything right now. Right?
Speaking of Roki, did any of you watch the innings he had?
Oh, yeah.
For the Reds?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some of those dudes looked silly on that slider.
Like, okay, we can rest Shohei now. You see what he's over there? Roki's over here dealing.
Yeah. And I think that's that abundance of riches thing. Right. Right. Is if this was the Angels.
Oh, yeah.
If Shohei was brought in to be the number one on any other staff, this is big breaking news that's concerning. For me, as a fan, hearing that doesn't freak me out too much. I'm bummed because I really want to see him pitch, right? But I know what's going to happen. Yeah. All right. Marin, what, as far as like with Shohei and some of the reporting that you've done, have you heard kind of ideally when they'd like to see him start pitching? Prior to this tweet, had you really been looking into anything on that side?
Yeah. So before this news, it was looking like it was going to be definitely after Japan, and towards end of April, beginning of May. So it wasn't like they're going to come back from Japan and he's going to start, right? It's going to take him a little bit more time. But this is an interesting development because if he's not throwing, he's not going to face live hitters until they come back from Japan. So if he's not going to face live hitters, then that might set him back a little bit more.
Right. Yeah, I think honestly, a May, June, let him start getting ramped up, because do we really even think he would pitch in the postseason?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Or do you keep his bat in the postseason?
If he does well, we still don't know. I mean, we think he's going to do well with everything that he does, but there's a reality here. There is a reality here where after your second Tommy John, you may not be the same pitcher you were before. And if he is not the Ohtani pitcher that he was before, they may not need him in the postseason.
Right. And that's kind of where I go with it, is depending on kind of what we see during the regular season, he might be more valuable as that DH going into a series, like especially with the Diamondbacks, right? Yeah. Who have really good pitching. I think we would have enough 3-4 guys in a rotation that we don't have to worry about putting Shohei into a rotation, but use that bat to get us through any series that we face.
You mentioned it right. This is a luxury. This is going out to your garage and picking a Rolls, a Ferrari, a Lambo, and being like, "Hey, the Lambo's gas is expensive today. We'll wait to drive that." And I think that's a smart, strategic way. I wouldn't, send off any alarms or anything like that if we didn't have the roster that we have.
Right.
So,
yeah. And I think there's so much left over, like stress and concern because of last year, right? Because of our starting pitching kind of being decimated by things. I think it gives everybody kind of that like, oh no, makes you pucker up a little bit, like, are we going to go through this again? But seeing what we're seeing now, again, man, it's just bring on November. Like I've never been more excited to get to fall.
And that's what I say, right? Who's coming off injuries, right? Freddie's coming off an injury. Shohei's coming off his injuries. These are 5 months ago, right? Yeah. So maybe these play into those factors of like, why rush these dudes into it when we don't necessarily really have to?
Technically, Will Smith is playing through an injury.
Yeah. Right. His first home run.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
And as far as the pitching goes, it's also not like the rotation lives or dies at Ohtani, right? Like there are guys beyond him. He would be great if he were the Ohtani that we've seen. But there's guys beyond Dustin May. Like Dustin May is right now like the cutoff, but then you got Ben Kasparius and you got the other guys that fall in behind there that technically could fill a starting role if need be, if that's what Dave wanted to do. If he wants to get to a 6-man rotation and Ohtani's not an option, there's like 4 other dudes that are.
Right.
Like it's not
Lambo's
the
down,
end
guys. Lambo's in the shop. Sorry.
Right.
That's it. Just man, it's just so crazy to think about the moves that were made and how this was structured and set up to go this way.
Yeah.
Right. This is not by accident. This is not accidental basketball where you're just running around trying to figure something out. Everything that was done this off season started with last off season. Started the off season before that with Freddie and the Mookie acquisition. All of these things have built to this, and everyone's trying to like, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? Man, sit back and wait to see what happens, because firework nights are going to be every night at Dodger Stadium.
Absolutely.
Like,
every night.
That's the thing, right? So, Maren, thank you so much for coming to hang out with us. Kind of let everybody know, kind of what are some things that you've got going on. We know you're always busy. with
As I'm
with projects.
multitasking right now, and you can see my
Exactly.
fingers moving across the laptop right now.
Hey, that's why you're a real journalist.
Yeah. That's what you tell me.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm honestly everything 5 days a week.
Right.
Because work-life balance is important. But no, if you want to keep up with anything that I'm doing, anything Dodgers Nation is doing, you can follow on Twitter at Marin_Angus, or at Dodgers Nation. You can go to the website, and Dodgers on SI. I do a lot of stuff there too. So we're the same company basically. We just write for both sides.
Exactly.
Yeah, so you can follow along there, and you'll see all of the great stuff that we are providing, even if you disagree with it.
That's why she got real quiet at that part. It's all right.
Hey,
But
it was my coworker. My coworker wrote that. I can't just dog on him.
We're habitual bus throwers over here. Throw that bus.
I'll let you guys do it, but I can't do it.
No, just kidding.
Well, hey, Marin, thank you so much for jumping on with us and hanging out. Appreciate everything you do. Make sure everybody go follow Marin on Twitter. We appreciate all of the insights you bring in, and look forward to hanging out and talking again, okay?
Yeah, well, hopefully it'll be sooner rather than later.
Absolutely. All right, Marin, have a great day, and we'll talk again soon.
Thanks.
Again, Marin, thank you so much for hanging out. We appreciate you coming on. So obviously having Marin on and talking about just kind of all the different things that are happening across all the different platforms, whether it's SI Dodgers, Dodgers Nation. There's so much that's happening in and around the team.
Yeah.
Like there's so many things that I'm super excited about coming up for the season. One of the things that I wanted to kind of pick everybody's brain about is obviously like thinking about the Tokyo series with the Cubs, right? Thinking about all of the opening series that's coming up outside of on the field stuff. What are some things like Brent that you look forward to with the Dodgers and the team kind of outside of just the day-to-day baseball stuff? Like what kind of excites you about?
Yeah. You mean just the Tokyo
Just in
series
general.
in general?
Just in general.
I think every single year you see something new and kind of innovative for the Dodgers. Every few years, maybe not every single year. I think it'll be super exciting to see what some of the construction changes will be this upcoming year. Right? Like this is a historic landmark building that has housed, not just the Dodgers. Right? I went to a Beyonce concert there once, I mean, like there's so many things that happen at that stadium. To see what changes and see what fan feedback they took, and how it makes an actual better experience, because I know that's important. I think that'll be one of the first things that I want to see. Obviously, some of the different jerseys and some of the collabs, and the Dodgers are an amazing organization doing the bobbleheads and doing the giveaways. Like I go to all different types of games. I don't ever see that really anywhere else. So you get the traditional T-shirt here or there, or whatever, but the World Series rings and ring night and all the bobbleheads and the sponsors. Every single year, there's something new and kind of fun where you have millions of people, or maybe not millions, but thousands of people lining up like they're Jordans or like they're Yeezys back in the day.
Yeah.
I always am amazed at the Dodgers' ability to be able to create that excitement every single year. So yeah, I think this year is no different than other. Like we want to get through the first few seasons. Obviously, the talent is what it is, but all of the other stuff too. And I know that. They're potentially interested in doing more media stuff. There's that new documentary that's coming out on Apple TV, of last year's series. So those are the top, 2 or 3 things outside of the normal stuff we're already expecting: World Series, back-to-back champions, and all that other stuff. So.
All right. So what's going to be harder to get? Tokyo merch or the Kobe Dodger drop?
Well, listen, they have the fashion district in downtown LA where you can get everything blue easy. So, like, worst come to worst, no shame. You know what I mean?
There's also in all of the Tokyo merch, there's the Topps cards.
Yeah.
That set looks so sick.
Yeah. It's just, it's all of these moves that I think goes to what actually is happening in baseball and what we're seeing and why, we're doing what we're doing, right? This isn't just about stats. This isn't just about
Absolutely.
analysis of swings and pitches, right? That's what we all love. But the reality of it is with the ESPN deal, MLB and the commissioner, they know what's happening. They know where the kids are trending.
Yeah.
Like I made a joke, my little boy plays T-ball. He already bat flips like crazy, right? And I'm like, where did this kid pick this up? But we're watching like TikTok videos of hitting. He loves to watch YouTube videos, and he's bat flipping, right? And the youth culture that's vibing off of everything from baseball, I think it just gives a different perspective on it, right? It's not the same old sport, right? It's evolving and changing.
Yeah. I think when you look at the Dodgers, first and foremost, it's a business, right? And I think the thing that I've always been enamored with is they've been super successful in these very different verticals that could be independent. Like you got an LA hat on right now. That's a fashion piece. Some people don't even know that hat. Like girls will wear an LA hat and be like, "Oh, I didn't know it had anything to do with the Dodgers." It's just cute, right? So the Dodgers are in the fashion industry, right? Right? I know. My man Jabin over there looking cute as all. Oh, I'm just kidding. What I'm saying,
right?
But like successfully have transcended a 2-letter initial and made it a brand. So I think they're in the fashion industry. They're also in the experience industry, like a live concert. Like there's fireworks Friday night. There's flyovers for special games, right? And then they're in the media and TV business. Right? They own their own regional sports network. There's only one or two other actual outfits or teams that actually have their own regional sports network. But this is the only region. This is the only team that has their own individual regional sports network. The Yankees have the Yes Network, right? But they share that with the Rangers and whoever else. Like the Cubs had WGN for some, Boston has whatever, but they share it. So the Dodgers as an organization not only are an amazing sports team, fashion, media, experience. I don't know any other sports organization that does that. The Cowboys try, right? They like we talk about America's team, they brand great, but their team sucks consistently.
Well, and if you think about so much of that, like thinking about the Cowboys, right? It's legacy vibes, it's legacy feelings, right? It's not anything that's being done intentionally. You look at what the Dodgers ownership group is doing, it is leaning into that stuff. Instead of being afraid of like, oh, we're a baseball organization, not just this. They invest in the fan experience.
Yeah.
They invest to make sure it's not like Andrew Friedman has talked about it. Like, this is what our fans deserve. This is what they want. This is what they deserve, which is why we turn out folks to stand in lines
Absolutely.
for, the opening series, right? The fan expo.
Or $20,000 for a michelada at the stadium. Like people will pay that, right?
Yeah.
And you look at other organizations, and I'll specify them in the NL West, that their teams are going back and forth with cities over stadium renovations.
Yeah.
Oh, we don't get the taxpayer. Dodgers like, we got that. Don't even worry about it. We'll do it. Down the 405, you have the Angels doing whatever the Angels do. Right. So as an organization, like, man, how do you hit on all 5 levels of these verticals consistently? That's what I'm excited about. Every single, what new merch is coming out, what new things are happening, and then that's where we get the hate from. Because on top of that, you're putting out a quality baseball product. Come on.
Yeah. And it's not just branding for the sake of branding, right? It's backed up by something legitimate. And I mean, and you see it, and you see the growth of the fan culture and the extension of that. Like, I was literally watching a whole thing about like how in Japan, like cholo culture is huge in Japan. It's insane. Yeah.
What do they say?
100%. They're rocking
Free stickies,
Crease Ben Davies, low riders. One of the biggest resurgences of the Ben Davis brand was because of Japan.
I believe it.
But all of that then is LA.
I'm weak. Right. But as I'm saying, Los Angeles is a culture. And I think that's one of the things that people miss with sports team. The Yankees were a culture. I'm from the south side of Chicago, and I say that proudly because that is a culture.
Right.
And the Dodgers, the Lakers, these Los Angeles premier teams. I don't include the Clippers or whoever else is out there in that, right? Like that.
They started in San Diego.
Yeah, right. That's a culture, though, right? That's a culture where even Raider fans, and I get that about Cowboys fans, right? The Cowboys are living off whatever that Super Bowl was from 18,000 years ago. You know what I mean? Why are we still talking about Jerry Jones like that? That dude is like 800 years old. Oh, no disrespect. But like, that's where I think those fans come with, you know, a lot of their support. And the Dodgers are recent and consistent, and you can't be mad at that. As an
You only
organization,
can
even as a
when
pure
your
fan.
team's not doing the same. Like, and those are the only people who are up in arms about the things that the Dodgers do. Are people who are legitimately upset at their teams because their teams aren't doing what the Dodgers are doing. So it's not fair.
And the things I think about is if I'm a baseball, right? Now I have an opportunity to play for any California, right? That's half of my money list. But I'm still choosing to play here where I can go to Texas and not maybe Ohio State, Texas, or wherever else Ohio State, Texas at. You know, Steph Curry is going to make $61 million next year or something. That's what he's supposed to be paid. He's touching half of that, right? And guys are choosing to come play for the Dodgers, knowing that the traffic is crazy, knowing that the pollution is whatever, knowing the other things that we have happen on in the city, and you're going to get taxed half, but you're going to have a chance every single year to win. You're going to be in all major games, and you're going to have more opportunities in your career. That's what literally everybody who works wants. So can't be mad.
I mean, let's just throw it out there. Traffic to a Dodgers night game with Luka in town now and the Lakers, you have to get to the stadium like at 11 a.m.
Yeah, it's something.
Traffic's going to be just stupid.
But literally 55,000 people will still do it.
Yep. We'll get there about the fourth inning, but we'll still be there.
Right? But I'll
Exactly.
still do it. And, you know, ticket prices will be whatever those ticket prices are, and people will still pay them.
Right.
So,
And because they're rewarded,
yeah.
right? It's not like gouging prices just to earn back $1, right? Yes, it is expensive. We all get that, right? People spend a lot of time, effort, and energy to go to these games, right? But the reality of it is the Dodgers reward the fans with a product.
Everything.
Yeah.
We were talking about the Tokyo merch, and I was like, well, whatever it costs. I can quantify very quickly the value in that. I can quantify the value of whatever we spent. Like, we all went to game 1 of the World Series, right? I probably would have paid double now that I know what I know.
Right.
What? Get walk off what's it like? So I think it's easy when you have a brand that presents consistent value.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, what the Dodgers do really well at, to where even if the price does seem more than normal for whatever it is, tickets, merch, hours in traffic, parking fees, like, you were there to experience something, to say, hey, when your kids or our kids are older, we can pass those things down.
Yeah. It's super cool. I'm excited. I mean, it's one of those things where, like, we kind of we're kind of reaching for things sometimes as fans of the sport and the Dodgers, because we're all chomping at the bit.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I can't wait to get this season started.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's going to be insane. And so, obviously, before we go, Brandon, glad to have you back in studio, man.
Yeah.
We know you've been remote. Kind of like, what are some things you got going on, man?
Yeah.
What are you kind of excited about outside of just, Dodger stuff?
So I think platforms like this, and a big reason why we're here today, in the change in media and the change in even how we view sports, right? Baseball is one of the longest actual sports where you sit down and watch for 3 hours. Most adults these days just do not have that time to do so. And traditional media sometimes gets stale, right? We see what the changes happen with MLB Network, obviously whatever ESPN is doing. I'm excited about the paradigm shift in media and content creation, and the ability for us in this room and folks that we work with to really be able to create meaningful content. And meaningful doesn't necessarily have to be stats. It's whatever we decide it is for our consumption. That's the best thing, right? It could just be Dodger apparel we talk about. It could be Dodger whatever, right? But it's something that allows, those of us that are passionate about things to share our thoughts and perspectives on certain stuff. So that's the biggest thing I'm excited about, moving into this next stage of media, being able to work on other projects that are related to this, closely, and grow that. And I think those are some of the cues that I've seen just by watching the Dodgers. They don't just play baseball. Like I said, they're in different businesses. And so I think that's inspiration for me to look at, like, well, shoot, I like baseball and basketball and the Dodgers in LA, Southside, and hats and shoes and all. Like, why can't we monetize that? Right. So I think that laying out that blueprint for reality is one of the biggest things I'm excited about this year. Obviously working with you guys too as well, because, you know, this doesn't work without the passion. This doesn't work without people who are interested in the things that you are. So this is no different than we are when we were 10 years old, growing up, talking trash about who our favorite player was. But now we have the ability to monetize it. It's amazing in 2025.
Yeah, and it's the opportunity that we have that's not been available before.
Yeah.
And it's all about collaboration. It's all about working together. We see that with what happens and how the Dodgers take care of their staff,
Yeah.
how they take care of the city, like all of those things. I feel you on that.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, some of the stuff we have coming out, guys, we're real excited. Not only just with having Marin on as a journalist and giving us that perspective, we have some stuff with some contributors that are coming on. Shout out to Jerry Harrison Jr. You guys have seen him on a couple of things already. We're going to be getting a lot more information, thoughts, insights from him. Brandon will be in LA a lot of the times.
Absolutely.
We're going to be in LA as a team, getting you guys just access and live streaming games. And I'm super stoked about this year. Like, I appreciate everybody's time. I appreciate everybody's efforts. We stick Javen in a corner and he still hangs out with us. But as my younger brother, that's where he belongs. So, but again, Brandon, so much, thank you for being in studio again, brother. We appreciate you. Javen, we appreciate you hanging out with us. Marin, thank you as always. Remember, everybody, like, follow, and subscribe to everything Blue Heaven TV. We'll talk to you guys later.
TV.
This is my city, yeah, this is my team. If you talking, it's how to be nice. I play with all of my life. You see my name in the lights. Better get